Hello, it's Blake here from BFG Podcast. Today's video is going to be a bit different. It's not going to be a regular interview style of video. We are going to be trying a few different things on the channel, with a bit of inspiration taken from my good friend Paul the other one, otherwise known as Paul Barlow. You can see his channel and we will put a link in the description below. I guess you can call it a bit of a brother or sister channel because I will be working on there as well. You may have already seen some of my content on there. So we will be teaming up together going forward. But don't worry, there will be still interviews as well. Just a mixture of content. So let me know what topic you would like to talk about. Anyway, on to today's topic. Is a follow-up video on one of Paul's recent videos about charter schools, but I will be covering in particular the discrimination around cell phones. So earlier this year, our local government announced that they won't be allowing schools to have cell phones during school hours to promote play in the playground and good learning and stuff like that. But recently they announced the reintroduction of charter schools. Now, when they were last in government before 2017, they introduced them and they were abolished by the Labour government that came after them. And they have recently committed, if they were to regain power in 2026, they will abolish them again. Now, the reason why I have an issue with the charter schools around phones in particular is it's been announced that they won't have to follow the curriculum or autonomy as opposed to a regular school. Now, this means they are not subject to the cell phone ban, which is a bit of a problem because it's another instance of this government creating different rules for mostly the rich and wealthy because they are the people that attend, or the um, demographic that attend the charter schools. So it's another not on the lower decile people. Now, I wouldn't mind charter schools personally to have another go, but if they want to have this, they need to make the rules fair for everybody. So that means no phones in mainstream, no phones in charter schools. If they want phones in charter schools, bring them back in mainstream on a restricted level possibly. Maybe don't allow them at lunchtime, or maybe allow them at lunchtime but don't allow them during the day, or whatever. So I don't like this concept from this government about different rules for different people. So let me know what you think. And here's Paul with some added content from Paul the other one. Paul, over to you.
Thanks for that, Blake. There's only a couple of things I really need to add because you've covered everything pretty well. First of all, cell phone bans don't work and never have. The research report that the government's actually using to justify the ban actually said cell phone bans don't work. They're really good as tools, though, for students to start learning in new ways because technology changes and so do the way that kids learn. But what is really apparent here is that this is a funneling to make sure that people see charter schools as a viable alternative by setting up structured learning and really specific rules in place for public schools that aren't in place for these other schools that still get public funding. That showcases very much that the government wants to highlight what the charter school can do and try and make sure that they succeed in any way possible. And when you've got people like Brian Tamaki lining up to try and run one of these things, Brian Tamaki, who this week admitted he knew in advance about the paintings of 2 rainbow crossings in this country, that's not the kind of people that should be running schools because they indoctrinate kids to be horrible little twerps, and nobody wants that. But it's going to be a possibility under the school. The majority of charter schools that we had last time round were religion-based, and this becomes a real concern for a lot of people. Realistically speaking, though, there's not a huge amount that can be done about it because the government has the majority, and until Uncle Winnie decides he wants to step away and cause a little bit of a fuss at being Deputy Prime Minister, chances are we're not going to be able to make any changes anytime soon.